Hey, what's up you guys? It's Six. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be very fun because it is a story time, I say with a question mark, story time adjacent. It is a thing that happened to me that I think is funny and silly, but there's not really much of a story to it, but there is a consequence that I thought it would still be fun to share this sort of story with you guys. Anyway, I haven't done a story time in a long time because usually when things happen to me, I either forget that they happened to me or I don't recognize that, like, hey, this might be funny to tell, like, on the channel, because especially, like, most of the time the things that happen to me are not art related or art adjacent enough for me to talk about. That being said, I do have a few of them on the channel. The art in them is old and the videos are old, but I do have a few story times up on the channel. Some of them are not fun things that happen to me, and then others are kind of fun, kind of just like learning lessons that would be good for any beginner artist. So if you want to go and check those out, those are somewhere on the channel. They are, again, very old, I would like to preface, but if you just like to listen to me yap, then go on over there. Oh, also, if you like to listen to me yap, I do a bi-weekly-ish podcast over on my Patreon, where I also do a bunch of other stuff. There's an exclusive video every month. There is behind-the-scenes sketches and whips and stuff of illustrations that I'm working on when I'm working on illustrations. And I also do, if you join the matcha or chamomile tiers, physical reward tiers, which are really fun. I've been experimenting a lot with them over the past couple of months. Sometimes you get magnets, sometimes you get double prints, sometimes you get a print and a sticker, sometimes you get a couple of stickers, sometimes you get just the most randomest thing that I can think of, because I'm just like, I want to do a thing, so here is thing. I hope you enjoy. So yeah, if you want to see me experiment with a bunch of fun, cool monster like characters, because y'all know I love to draw those, over on my Patreon, feel free to go and check that out. And again, the podcast is there, so if you're enjoying this yap sesh before it's even started, go check out my Patreon, link in the description, also on screen, patreon.com/sixstudios. Thank you. Anyways, okay, before we get into the actual story time, I just want to do a quick little run through of what you guys are seeing being illustrated on screen. So this was originally supposed to be for Art Fight. You can see that it is not on my Art Fight because I rendered this very recently. So what happened was, Art Fight happened without me, essentially. Like, I had all of these plans for Art Fight and they just went out the window. I could not, everything happened to me in July, and so I did not have time to do anything for Art Fight, but I was looking through my sketches for it and I saw this in my folder and I was like, this is still so cute. I want to finish it anyway. So this is Daisy PNG's character Vivi. I will have their socials linked in the description as well as in the comments, the pinned comment, if my brain remembers to do so for the comment, but it will be in the description for sure. And this character, she was just too cute to pass up. I had to finish rendering her. So thank you to Daisy for letting me use your character for this speed paint. I hope you enjoy, yada yada yada. Let us get into the actual story time. So I will say, as far as story times go, this is less like this big dramatic thing that occurred and more so a consequence of my own actions sort of situation. This is a learning lesson for any artist of any kind who is thinking of doing an outdoor market. Okay, getting into it. So I don't do markets very often. I get very anxious in like massive social situations and things like that. The only reason I do these biannual ones that I do is because they are run by a group who I know personally, and so I am like comfortable going up to staff and being like, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? If this was any sort of other event, I would probably be so anxious and cry. So I only do them once or twice a month because I know the sitch, I know the setup, I know what's going on. So I was very familiar, very comfortable, very excited to set up for this outdoor market that I have done before. Mind you, I have done this market before. So some really important things to have for outdoor markets are, of course, your table, all of your inventory, and also a tent. The tent you will see so soon it's mandatory at this point if you're going outside. A tent or some form of shade that is not a tree. You cannot trust a tree or the building to shade you. Do you see where I'm going, right? Okay, so this outdoor market was in July. This was in July, so summer, right? And I have all of those things. I have my table, I have my inventory, I have myself. I don't have my tent. Why do I not have my tent? Because the last outdoor market I did, when it was coming down, it broke. And I convinced myself I do not need my tent because I will be off to the side of the building. Don't ask which compass direction this building was in, because I don't know my directions. Okay, I was on the side of the building, and so I was like, the sun is going to come down first of all against my back, so it won't be in my face and bothering me or whatever, but it's gonna be against my back, but I'm also gonna have shade from the building. It's gonna come up, and then the shade of the building is going to cast over me, and I will be fine. It does not matter that it is incredibly, incredibly hot outside. I am totally, completely okay. I don't need my tent. I'm good. I've got fans. I'm chilling, right? And so for the morning, because this event is like an all day long thing, for the morning, I was totally fine, even coming into the afternoon. I'm doing pretty okay. But then like 1 p.m.-ish comes around. And people are starting to ask me, like, are you okay? Like, aren't you hot out here? You don't have a tent? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Completely so stupid of me, okay? Like, I was not fine. I was convincing myself I'm okay because I am so stubborn. I'm so stubborn. I think a subconscious part of me did not want to admit that I was doing a stupid, silly thing. And so I was just like, I'm totally fine. Yeah, I don't need a tent. No, I'm fine. I'm literally okay. I'm like not even that hot. I was boiling. I was roasting. Quite literally, might I add. We will get there. So it's like 1 p.m. It's really hot. My friend comes to help me with the event. They're chilling with me. And they're like, dude, you don't look good. You look sick. And I was like, I'm not sick. I'm literally fine. I've been out here all day. I'm so chill. And then they kind of lean over. And they're like, what the hell is wrong with your back? And I was like, my back? I was wearing a sundress. Okay? I was wearing a sundress because I knew it was going to be hot, right? I had taken my jacket off because I always wear the same jacket that I made. It's Full Metal Alchemist. I made it myself because they don't make merch for an anime that has been out of the running since like 2012. But I have this sweater that I wear, and I was wearing it, and I took it off because I was getting hot, right? I was getting hot. It's summer. It's like 97 degrees. So for the last like 2-3 hours, the sun's been beaming against my back, right? I had suntan lotion, or not suntan lotion. I had sunscreen. All over everywhere except my back. Why? Because I didn't want to ask for help. Because I'm stupid, right? If you are going outside and you're going to be sitting in the heat, it does not matter how embarrassing it is. If you cannot reach every single inch of visible skin on your body, you need to ask for somebody to help you put sunscreen on. My back was purple. It was purple because it was such a bad sunburn. And I am gaslighting myself this entire time. Like, I am not burning. It's not that hot. I'm totally fine. I'm not getting heat stroke. I had heat stroke. I got sick. Okay? This is the end of the story, right? I'm telling you, it wasn't much of a story. It was more of a word of warning. Don't be stupid. Bring your tent. put sunscreen on. I don't care. I don't care what notions you have of tanning versus burning. I don't care if you think you are the most like immune to temperature in the entire world. I thought that I was of the variety that only tans, doesn't burn, and I can handle temperature very well, especially if I have things to assist with said temperature, such as jacket and fan. I thought everything was fine. I burned my back so badly that I had to get a burn cream that had lidocaine in it because I was in so much pain. And because I didn't want to ask for help putting sunscreen on, had to ask for help for people to put burn lotion on me for a week because I was so badly burned. And when I say I got sick, I mean that quite literally. I was of the belief that I was going to be staying there all day. By 3 p.m., I felt like I was going to vomit. I was so dizzy, I was so nauseous, and it all came on so suddenly. I had convinced myself all day that I am okay. And then all of a sudden, once I realized, hey, you have the most wickedest of sunburns, and it is very hot, and you still have 3 or 4 hours of this event to go. All of a sudden, I am unwell. And so I had to ask for help from my friend. I had to call my mom and my partner, have everybody help me break down my table, and I had to leave early because I got sick, and because I had heat stroke, and because I burned my flesh so badly. So don't be silly. Don't be stupid. If you are doing an outdoor event and you know you're going to be out in the sun in the summer because it was July, bring a tent. I know tents are expensive, right? I know they are, right? So if you are not prepared to make the investment for a tent, do not do an outdoor market. Or at the very least, slather yourself in sunscreen, bring an umbrella or something to give you some sort of shade. Do not be stubborn like me, because this happened because I was stubborn. Because I convinced myself I don't need it. And the minute I realized, no, I do need it, I convinced myself that I was fine. I was not fine. I was not fine. Please don't be stubborn. Please don't be stupid. Shade yourself. I was like, the building's gonna cover me. And then when the buildings stop covering me, the trees are gonna cover me. Are you insane? Like 2 years ago, 6? Are you insane? There was such a big gap between the tree line and myself, and I just was like, this is how the sun works. It's not. It's not. I would insert a picture of what my back looks like. Maybe I will, but I probably won't because it's gross, but maybe I will. It was so dark. It was so dark and so red and so purple and so embarrassing to have to like leave in front of everybody because I got sick. I got myself sick because I'm silly and I did a bad thing. So yeah, don't do that to yourself. That's pretty much it. I just thought it was hilarious that I gave myself the worst sunburn I've ever had in my life for something so inconsequential as like bringing my broken quote unquote tent anyway, because apparently it worked and I just like convinced myself that it didn't. I know that it broke, but apparently it hadn't broken in a way that made it unusable. I hadn't used my tent many times at this point, right? Because usually, it was one of my first markets, but also because sometimes we were indoors for it, so it wasn't as big of a ish. So yeah, I just was like, it's broken, I can't use it, I just won't bring it, and I will be fine. I wasn't, and neither will you be. So, bring your tent, put sunscreen on, and don't give yourself a 5th degree sunburn. It was terrible. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. It's been a long time since I've done a story time, so hopefully that was at least mildly entertaining, and if not, I hope you had fun putting me on mute and watching this mood paint. Again, Patreon, if you want to hear me yap more for some reason, that's up and on there. I'm gonna be doing September I might be doing something zombie related for Resident Evil this month, I think, but I had to look at my notes. I don't remember. But I'm going to do something monster fun related, as I will be for October as well. I'm doing lots of monsters right now because it's the most wonderful time of the year. So if you want to go check that out, again, that is patreon.com/6studios. Thank you to all my current patrons for making everything that I do on this channel possible. I love you guys. You really mean the absolute world to me. All of your support helps me make all of this possible, makes all of my yapping possible, all of my artwork possible. I very much appreciate it. I also appreciate any of you who are sitting here still watching this video for whatever reason. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.